কি অবস্থা আব্দুল্লাহ, কি অবস্থা সিজার? ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক।
এই তো দোস্ত, গুড
কেমন যাচ্ছে?
দেখতে পারতেছি তোমাদের দুজনকে।
হ্যাঁ
আমরাতে
ম্যান, সিঙ্গাপুরে ইটস স্যাড যে আমরা দেখা করতে পারতেছি না। ইটস সো স্ট্রিক্ট।
হ্যাঁ, it's actually very unexpected because আমরা যখন initial months এ কিন্তু we were still like okay with everything, right? আমরা বাইরে হতাম, we used to go for dinners together. তারপর আস্তে আস্তে I think phase it stopped because তারপরে we stopped hanging out in public places. আমরা বাসায় chill করতাম, which was also a lot of fun with cards and everything. But then ওইটা যে stop হয়ে যাবে এতদিন continue করবে, I actually didn't expect it at all.
Especially that circuit breaker যে ওটা মানে আমি ভাবলাম কয়েক সপ্তাহ হবে, but almost 2 months bro. এখন 2 মাস হয়ে গেছে সার্কিট ব্রেকারে। So by the look of things আর পুরো জুনেও কিন্তু phase 1 এও কিন্তু আমরা কিছু করতে পারবো না। So we're still under strict lockdown.
But actually একটা দিক দিয়ে ভালো that how Singapore is controlling it, right? And they have a very solid plan যেটা how they can make sure that COVID doesn't spread or coronavirus doesn't spread, right? That's the
But then I think the other thing is so I was trying to follow the news to see who's getting affected and everything. So it's mostly into dormitory workers. If you look at it, the country's actually done well in terms of controlling community transmission. এমনিতে কিন্তু মানে এমনি বলা উচিত না, but it's like isolated, segregated part people are getting affected.
That's true.
And which is difficult to control because dormitories, you can't ensure personal space like we can with normal communities, right? Let's say আমাদেরকে যখন বাসায় আটকে রাখছে, so we're literally stuck home. And মানে we can stay isolated, but dormitory workers তো বাসায় একা থাকলেও মানে একা তো থাকতেছে না, they have to share, and so the spread still taking place.
No, that's true. Do you guys feel depressed by any chance? Like, did anyone depression kicked in or not yet?
ভালো লাগে না কিছু, মানে এমন একটা সিচুয়েশন এখন কিছুই ভালো লাগে না। আর কি করবো, আর কি লাইক আর কত গেম খেলবো, আর কত মুভি দেখবো, আর কত নেটফ্লিক্স, আর কত সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া, ম্যান লাইক
I think ওইটাই হয়েছে। I think depression ঠিক না, but then exactly যেটা শিহাব বলতেছে যে মানে
মনোযোগ হয়ে গেছে।
হ্যাঁ, মানে goes back to what we were discussing before যে মানে there's nothing much to do. মানে how much can you play Ludo online? How much can you talk to friends? How much can you watch stuff on Netflix, right? At the point পরে তো you just want to do something else which you can't, unfortunately. So that's a bit, but Alvi made a smart move. একদম পুরো just মানে anticipate করছিল যেটা হবে, ওইটার আগে একটা কিবোর্ড গিটার কিনে ফেলছে. So he's staying busy. Unfortunately আমরা গাধামিটা করছি. We should have at least done something.
না, আমি চিন্তা করতেছিলাম যে আমার আরো কয়েকটা লেগো সেট কিনা উচিত ছিল। তাহলে
লেগো কয়েকটা কিনলি না, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্পেস স্টেশন আর কি
man, I was thinking ওই স্পেস স্টেশনটা বানাইতে আমার 8 ঘন্টা লাগছে, right?
Wow.
So that would have been
what you needed was Old Trafford এটা কিনতে চাইছি, you almost bought it, man. বাবুলি যে না দোস্ত, এটা দিয়ে একটু প্র্যাকটিস করে না আগে।
হ্যাঁ man,
Old Trafford লেগো পিসে কয়টা ছিল? পিসেস কয়টা?
I think 4,000 pieces or 3,800 just
wow
pieces, right? Jeta like International Space Station jeta banaichi me, it's 800 pieces roughly.
And that took you 8 hours. I mean 4,000 pieces would probably, I don't know, probably impossible in a way.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of concentration. Like our Lego, the thing is that you need to follow the instruction, right? There is some places where you need to be creative, but Lego is definitely not the place to be. Right?
I wish Faisal could have joined us on the call.
No, Faisal আমরা কিছুক্ষণ পর আবার ট্রাই করব to get him on the call.
আচ্ছা, আমার হয় ইফতার করে ঘুমাই গেছে, মানে ডেইলি ঘুম দেয় actually.
আচ্ছা, about that, I'm sure your sleeping hours have been affected, right? মানে
very much, bro.
Stay up longer and then because সকালে তো উঠার প্যারাটা থাকে না, unless you start office at like 9 or 10, but then আগে যেরকম আমাদের কমিউট করতে হতো, রেডি হতে হতো, ওই সব ঝামেলা তো কিছু নাই. So did that mess up your routine?
Especially bro, রমাদানে একটু হয়েছে, কারণ আবার উঠতে হয়, উঠে সেহরি করতে হয়, তো দেখা যায় যে ঘুমানো হয় না। তো দেখা যায় যে আমি ঘুমাই একেবারে রাতে 3টার সময় ঘুমাই, তারপর উঠতে উঠতে সকাল 10টা 11টা বেজে যায়। still the sleep cycle টা ওখানে একটু mess up হয়েছে
but
এখন আবার ঠিক হয়ে
সেরি করো টাইম মতন so that's good I don't think আমি সেরি একদিনও টাইম মতন করছি আইদার আগে মানে আগে করে গেছে
আমার যেটা হয় হলো একটা পর্যন্ত জাগা হয় একটা দুইটা and then I fall asleep right আর তারপরে আমার যেটা পার্সোনালি মনে হয় যে আমার ঘুম কমে গেছে আরো ইনফ্যাক্ট right because
I can't relate to that
না I don't know why আমার সকাল 8টার দিকে I guess it's because of the sun that comes in my room right 8টার দিকে বা 7টার দিকে I'm wide awake
that's good man that's really good
it is it's okay all right sometimes I wish যে একটু বেশি ঘুমাইলে ভালো হতো টাইমটা তাড়াতাড়ি পাস হতো but that's also because আর কিছু করার নেই and
so what do you do when you wake up in the morning because you don't definitely start work at 8 right so what do you do
nah I don't start work at 8 right so to be honest my behavior is basically Kindle niye kichukhon gutano right so trying to read this book আর তারপরে কিছুক্ষণ ফেসবুকে যা দেখা what is happening with everyone right the good thing is that our friendra WhatsApp it they would always have this chat going on ওদের রাত্রেবেলার chat and then to read that also takes like 30 minutes to figure out what happened right so but it's not been to be honest it hasn't been like super productive schedule sakalbala
okay right now so I've tried to do a lot of things but hasn't really worked out positively so I've tried to stay physically active a bit the best হচ্ছে গিয়ে I did wake up a bit early on a couple of days went out for a walk did some exercise at home because even apartment gym swimming pool everything's closed right so you can't really do anything because of the whole COVID thing but ওটা মানে হচ্ছে না because a specific time তখন মানে উঠে না you just and for the first time in my life I actually snooze my alarm যেটা আমি আগে জীবনে করতাম না এখন আমার কাছে ঠিক আছে টাইম তো আসছে তো 10টার সময় মিটিং 9:30 পৌনে 10টার সময় উঠলে তো হবে so that's a bit frustrating but I think that might have an effect once things get better because এই অভ্যাসটা মানে মনে হচ্ছে ইউনিভার্সিটি লাইফে ফেরত গেছি যে 3টা-4টা পর্যন্ত সজাগ থাকতেছি and then সকালে যত দেরি করে পারি উঠতেছি it's a bit frustrating
without all the fun without all the
fun yeah that's true makes it even worse doesn't it?
I think actors what I am personally afraid of I feel the coronavirus or this situation will stay till December right and it's going to be like this at least for the next 1 year right where you have on and off circuit breakers on and off lockdowns right
because there might be a second or third wave anytime
it's just super risky sorry go ahead
no I was just going to say on that note so there's a lot of discussions I'm on the call at work with basically the global team and they were saying this might just be the new normal in a lot of ways what we also realized through this crisis is we can actually work from home because it's not like business is stopping right we're doing everything just as if we were going to do if we were in the office so second third wave situations there might be a situation where we might end up working from home for a longer period of time so I don't know I just feel like we sort of have to get used to this whole culture as well and it's not going to just change overnight or within a few months
yeah I mean I guess you all saw right Facebook though already boasted that by within the next few years they are expecting 50% of their workforce to be working from home
yep
but other than that how are you keeping yourself busy active
Shihab
probably recently bro I started a few courses on Coursera so professional development so ওটার উপর একটু ফোকাস করতেছি কারণ এই টাইমটা তো পাবো না so might as well utilize it to the fullest so quite busy with those but ওটাও like কতক্ষণ আর করবো ঠিক না তো ওটা ছাড়া আর কি ওটা ছাড়া I just browse like there were a few movies which were in my watch list I'm just basically ticking everything off from my watch list. যেটা অনেক বছর ধরে দেখা হয় নাই. And then also আর তখন দেখি যে like I'm super bored. I'm trying to like reconnect with friends, people who have not spoken to in years.
Right. Yeah, so, I think that's something I've done, and that's probably a silver lining in this whole thing. I've gotten in touch with, let's say, school friends, Jara, because I'm not good at staying in touch with people if they're not around me, right? And I think it applies to most of us. So we've had these conference calls with a lot of friends, and then we reached out to him or her and then tried to connect that person into the call as well. But it's good to know how your friends are doing, and good to stay in touch. But I mean, maybe we were too busy to do that. Definitely we have ample time on our hands to actually be able to do that. So that's a good thing.
But do you guys realize a lot of the things that we were busy with, those don't seem important anymore, right? Like because you have so much time, you realize that okay, just talking to someone, and that is much more important than just being busy with, like, I don't even remember what I was busy with.
True, bro.
I think we wasted a lot of time, right, Agyo?
Let's get into a interesting topic, right? So kalke Eid.
Eid means to be happy.
First time, at least, I mean, I guess Shabar life, first time that Eid is in a situation where you can't do anything except be in your home. Like, at least we have all spent Eid right, from away from Bangladesh. Kintu tao you go meet your friends, you have some good food and so on. But this is the first time you are stuck. How will you guys?
Eid in isolation, basically.
Yeah, and the worst is like, I mean, isolation would still be okay if you're stuck at home, in the sense, you know, if you still have people around you. So I think difference to I'm sure it applies to you guys as well. When I was in Australia, তখন ঈদের টাইমে হয়তো মানে কাজ থাকলেও at least evening এসে as friends would get together, right? We'd have dinner together, but at least বাসায় কয়েকজন আসতো। মানে এখন আমরা কিছু করতে পারতেছি না। Technically আমরা তিনজন কিন্তু separately আলাদা থাকতেছি, and it's like বাসায় থাকতে হবে. We can't even hang out. Yeah, this is by far the worst Eid ever, without a doubt.
And I hope it makes us stronger.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of learnings to take from this.
I think also the good thing is that a lot of innovation should come out of it, especially, I mean, with the way we work, which is already, you can see the impact, shobai bolte se remote working is good, right? And everyone's promoting remote work, right? Then the other impact is how we go to school, right? How education is working in a way. And I think there will be more online courses, more websites like Coursera becoming more popular.
True, but then আমার একটা concern হচ্ছে কি, so I always liked the outdoor life as well. When let's say, for example, going to a restaurant, sitting in a pub, or you know, just socializing with people. So you're absolutely right. What's going to happen is এই জিনিসটা কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে একটু মানে at least scaling wise একটু কমে যাবে. Just and that will become the new normal, right? And I think ওইটা নিয়ে I'm a bit upset, to be very honest, because you know I actually miss dining out. You know, how much can you order? Like, how many times can you order food at home? It just doesn't feel the same anymore. But it's good business for you guys, Alvi.
Yeah. Come on. I think order from Food Panda, guys. Food Panda should give me some sponsorship just for saying that.
Just for saying that. No, but I've noticed something as well. So Shedin, so I went for some groceries. So তখন I was just talking to a few people. So ওরা যেটা বলছিল যে a lot of drivers যারা আগে, let's say, they would work for Grab and you know Gojek, ওরা they've started doing delivery services even with their cars now.
Yeah, especially Grab.
So I think হয়তো মানে in terms of the money that they were making before, it's not as much, because I think it's not very economical to deliver food if you're driving a car because parking অনেক কিছু factors থাকতে পারে. But I mean, people are still trying to find a way out, just to continue their lives.
No, that's true, right? So the entire gig economy is in a way suffering, right? And I think we see a small effect of it already. Maybe few months down the line, we'll see a bigger effect, right? And it's just we need to get out of it, right? We need to be positive and get out of it. That's what I tell myself. But what do you miss most about Eid, right? So especially Ajke, right? The Chandrat part of Eid, and then subsequently Eid. What do you guys miss the most, or will miss the most?
I'd say the Chandrat hangouts with friends.
Yeah, so exactly.
Either আগের দিন রাতে তো like
excitement সবসময় বেশি থাকে.
Always it's very eventful. ঈদের দিনে যে ঈদের আগের দিন বিকালে ইফতারের পরে হচ্ছে যে মেইন.
And yeah, so ওইটা just the fact যে কালকে ঈদ, ওইটার জন্য everyone's getting together. বাংলাদেশে হোক বা বাইরে হোক, I think we still try to do the same, right? ওই জিনিসটা তো এখন একদমই possible না. I think that's what I miss the most. Yeah, and the fact
and also the food, as we were mentioning, either so always we always try to come up with some special dishes or to something unique either jonno ranna korar chesta kora hoto othoba you would have ordered, but eka eka to eta hobe na.
No, that's true. I think in our family actually last year, so two things, right? So last year there was this mess up with Eid, right? So প্রথমে বলছে ঈদ হবে, তারপরে বলছে ঈদ হবে না, তারপরে আবার রাত্রে 11টার দিকে বলছে ঈদ হবে, right? So we went out সবাই যে বলছে ঈদ হবে না, and so আমি যে আমার ফ্রেন্ডদের সাথে চিল করা শুরু করছি, আমার বাপ মা যে লাইক আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে রান্না তো করতে হবে না, তাহলে বাইরে যাই আমরাও চিল করি, ফ্রেন্ডদের সাথে কফি খাই করতেছে। সো এর মধ্যে ওমায়ের হঠাৎ করে বলে কি দোস্ত কালকে ঈদ। আমরা বলি আরে ওমায়ের তুই নিউজ দেখোস নাই, কালকে ঈদ না, কি বলতেছস, right? So we made fun of him for like 10 minutes. তারপরে বলে কি না দোস্ত দেখ এই যে নিউজ আসছে already ঈদ, and then I saw like my parents like literally freaking out because বাসায় কিছু রান্না করে নাই, and they're like shit এখন তো রান্না করতে হবে বাসায় যায়. Right? And the best part about Chandrat, at least for me, was যে fresh রান্না করতো তো, right? সকালের জন্য, and তখন গরম গরম you could get the shimai, তারপরে পায়েস, তারপরে yeah, that was
the whole process itself. বাসায় সবাই দৌড়াদৌড়ি করতেছে, they're busy with something. The excitement is
ওইটাই
yeah. No, আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা I was thinking যেটা অনেক মিস করব ওটা হলো ঈদি
পাওয়ার আমি
না আমি এখনো পাই অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমার বাবা মা এখনো দেয়, নানি দেয়, তারপরে আমার কাজিনরা আবার যেটা হয় যে আমি যা পাই অলমোস্ট 50% চলে যায় কাজিনদেরকে দিতে and আমরা কাজিনরা সব পিঠাপিঠি তো, সো যেটা হয় যে ওরা জিজ্ঞাসা করে না, এসে নিয়ে চলে যায়।
That's interesting.
It's a good thing.
I would say aajke Chandrat, the main highlight for me is I never thought I would say this. I'm looking forward to the Bundesliga match. Bayern Munich er the khela dekhbo. That is the highlight of the Chandrat, bro. I never watched Bundesliga. Like for the last 2 weeks, that is the only sporting event jeta ekhon abar they again started after this whole lockdown. I look forward to it now.
And I look forward to the day যে আমরা at least FIFA খেলতে পারবো, বাসায় বসে at least FIFA খেলতে পারবো, ওইটাও পসিবল না। We can't play FIFA, we can't play Hearts, nothing, man. It's just কি এত স্ট্রিক্ট করবে আমি জিনিসটা এক্সপেক্ট করিনি।
Man, তোমার জন্য তো আরো বাজে because you came for the Singapore experience.
Exactly, and I only got it for like a month properly. But yeah, and the worst part is, by the time phase 1 of the lockdown would be over, phase 2 implement করতে করতে, I think I'll be gone, hopefully. So again, it has its pros and cons. I mean, jete chai, but then I also want to be able to go back to the normal life in Singapore. I don't know, but that's another concern. So I think you guys know, I'm probably I'm supposed to finish off by next month and go. If I don't have return flights, I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. How did you come to Singapore actually?
How did I come to Singapore? So basically, I was working for BAT in Bangladesh. When I was working in a treasury role, I got this 6-month opportunity to work in the regional treasury team here. So someone actually went on maternal leave, so they basically because I used to work with them, sometimes with a few projects and stuff. They were like wondering if I would be willing to come and stuff. So I think 6 months is why I agreed, because I think you guys know about this anyways, right? I don't actually want to live away from Bangladesh right now. One of the reasons I moved back from Australia. But so 6 months যেহেতু ছিল, I thought 6 months would be perfect. Like you experience the good life, but then you're not really stuck here. You can always go back home. But it's just it's been a mess. Singapore, arekta reason chilo because I went back in February, and the thing was, Singapore is really close to Dhaka. So jawa asha is not a problem at all. Australia থেকে ফেরত যেতে হলে তোমার অনেক planning করতে হয়. It's expensive, plus it's far, so it's a long plan. I went back to Dhaka for 4 days, and it was still worth it because 3-4 ঘন্টার flight, which is almost the time তোমার উত্তরা থেকে ধানমন্ডি যেতে লাগে at times, right? So it was still worth it. But obviously ওগুলো তো পরে আর হতে পারেনি, because I had plans ঈদের টাইমে ঢাকা যাব, ওটা হচ্ছে না. I had plans because Singapore is a good hub. I'll go around Asia a bit. So I already had booked flights to Malaysia. That got cancelled. I had plans to go to Australia because it's been a while I've been there. ওটা তো হচ্ছে না. Thailand যাওয়ার প্ল্যান ছিল, কয়েকটা ফ্রেন্ডের সাথে দেখা করতে, ওইটা হচ্ছে না. Worst was Malaysia, because আমি টিকিট কিনেও ফেলছি, and just তার পরের উইকই Malaysia announced its lockdown.
Yeah, I remember we were at dinner, Akshat, and I was telling you, and you were like,
dinner. I was like, what the hell, man? When did this happen? So that was really frustrating. Yeah. But it hasn't been the ideal assignment, short-term assignment, but it is what it is. Yeah.
No, at least you get to experience the Singapore COVID situation.
Yeah. No, I think what's also important to mention here is the funny way that we met. I think could be interesting story ছিল. Shamaila just out of the blue randomly একদিন অফিসে, আচ্ছা আপনি তো যাচ্ছেন, আমার একটা খুব ভালো ফ্রেন্ড থাকে, I'm like আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ I'll get you guys in touch so you can hang out with him, he's fun. I'm like okay, that sounds exciting. তো তখন শিহাবের ব্যাপারেও জানি না, I just knew যে Alvi নামে somebody exists in Singapore. And so Shihab he was in my school, but we haven't been in touch since. So and Shihab is obviously my dad's favorite student. Abu still remembers you, by the way. Ekdom pura bhalobhabei chine, so that's nice. You must have been really, really good at maths. So anyways, so pore hotat kore ekdin while I was still in Dhaka, WhatsApp একটা নতুন group create হয়েছে, and then Shamaila added Alvi and me. I'm like,
and
wow,
the group's name was also hilarious.
New friends, right? New friends.
I'm like, this is awkward. I'm sure Alvi felt the same way. How do we talk? What do we say? But but it turned out really well. Really interesting. But we went for the movie, I think.
We went for this movie, 1917, right? That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
She was like, "Tumi Alvi sir chile na?" And I'm like, "Hey." That was interesting.
Nah, as soon as I told Shihab that your name is Abdallah, right? It's like, Bangladesh থেকে Abdallah. Interesting. তারপরে তোমাকে দেখা পরে is like, yeah, চিনি. Like such a small world.
And also Faisal as well. Faisal also first আসলো. So the thing is, Faisal, after that we used to hang out a lot, almost every weekend.
Faisal ছোট ভাই থাকে না একটা, fun guy in the group.
He's always up to something. He always has a story to tell. Man, কিছু একটা আছে.
But Faisal is the best.
Bro.
No, actually, Faisal না থাকলে কিন্তু এত মজা হতো না. The fact that he's here, আমরা সবাই আরো বেশি মজা করতে পারি. And
I think Faisal is some of his stories and some of his comments যেগুলো আমরা এখন publicly বলতে পারছি না, but মাঝে মধ্যে যা যা বলতো
and random comments,
random out of the blue.
তারপরে like I remember we were having this very serious discussion about something and হঠাৎ করে কি অনন্ত জলিলের নতুন মুভি ট্রেলার দেখছে।
তারপর তো we're playing FIFA, ফাটাই FIFA হারতেছে, তো ব্রো আমি কাচ্চি খেলে আর আমার খেলা ভালো
actually কিন্তু improve হয়েছে, ওকে কাচ্চিটা
কাচ্চি খাবে, আমরা একটাও জিতি নাই, ও সবগুলো জিততেছে।
But so Kachi story, anyone watching this, I don't know, if you ever come to Singapore, just make sure to know Singapore bhalo kachi biryani pawa jay na. That is the biggest disappointment ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean actually biryani আমি এখন পর্যন্ত ভালো বিরিয়ানি পাই নাই, but
I think bhalo bolte আমাদের definition of bhalo is different, right? আমরা যেটা পছন্দ করি ওইটা পাওয়া যায় না basically।
এখানে even ফখরুদ্দিন আছে, বাট ওখানে কিন্তু তোমার থাকে না, মানে
আমি গেছি, I told you guys, আমি গেছি,
আমরা একসাথে গেছি।
হ্যাঁ আমি ছিলাম না সেদিন, আরেকদিন একাও গেছি, একদিনও পাইনি আমি।
আচ্ছা, সো
আমরা actually we had khichdi and stuff, right?
হ্যাঁ, সো আমরা যেদিন একসাথে গেছি we asked যে ভাই কাচ্চি আছে নাকি, রাইট? সো বলে যে কি যে করোনা ভাইরাস যখন শুরু হয়েছে শেফ চিন্তা করছে যে এটা তো বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে, রাইট? সে প্লেন নিয়ে চলে গেছে।
ওই জায়গাটাতে কিন্তু মেইনলি স্প্রেড করছে, রাইট? The whole Little India and Mustafa, that's one of the biggest clusters.
আমি তো ফয়সাল যখন ওখানে আমরা গেছি তখন ফয়সাল বলতেছিলাম যে এই জায়গাটায় স্প্রেড করতেছে না কেন, I don't know, because no one cared about like safety, anything. সবাই যে যার মতন চলতেছে। Cool. Enough about COVID, right? So tell me something, right? So tell me, what did you study in Australia, or how long did you spend in Australia?
I spent almost 7 years, 6.5 years. I studied finance and accounting. So the idea was for me to always just finish my studies, go back to Bangladesh. Or I was like, acha thik ache ekটু কয়েক বছর থাকি. You know, Australia was relatively easier to get a PR and all that shit. I was like, যখন আসছি তাহলে might as well get this, because traveling would become a lot easier with an Australian passport or something. But as soon as I got it, যে বছর পাইছি, I think September আমার citizenship ceremony ছিল, 2 মাসের মধ্যে December I came back to Bangladesh. And I think the funny thing is, most of my friends there, or just people in general, told me I wouldn't like it when I went back. And they were like, you obviously when you spend so many years overseas, you just get used to that life, and it's very different from Bangladesh. But I think the good thing is I didn't struggle, because in the struggle in sense amar kharap lage na. I was actually happy to be back, and I never regretted going back to Bangladesh. So I think that's something positive to take out of there. Obviously, there were the daily struggles. I mean, things that you would not expect in a place like Singapore, Australia, or anywhere else that you guys have been. But I still feel that Bangladesh is Bangladesh. It's still the best place in the world.
No, totally. I totally agree, right? Bangladesh, like, it just feels like home.
It just feels like home.
Yeah. Did you always want to study finance and accounting, or you wanted to do something else?
I actually wanted to study medicine when I was younger. So I wanted to become like an epidemiologist, which is like a disease specialist sort of a thing. You know, you do research on stuff like that. But at the same time, I also wanted to study overseas, because I wanted to just live abroad and, you know, just get the experience. So I think what happened was, I think medicine overseas was quite expensive. And so I think that's one of the reasons I was like, so what's my second option? So tokhon I wanted to study finance as well, as a backup. Economics, finance always was interesting. And tokhon I think you had the whole global financial crisis, and the GFC just ended. So tokhon that was all over the news. So that sort of interested me. So I was like, might as well explore this option. And which is also quite interesting, because I generally like economics. And because my dad was a math teacher, I think I wasn't the biggest fan of maths. Please don't kill me about this, Shihab. But I relatively found it easier. I liked financial mathematics. It made sense to me. So I was like, let's explore this field. Okay.
And if you had to go back in time, and would you pick the same things to study, or would you do something differently?
I would probably pick some different units, maybe, but I would still choose the same degree overall, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe a bit more of economics units because those were more interesting.
Yeah, I think economics has so many different fields in a way. It's super interesting, and each of them are quite different from each other. Right?
Exactly. And you can relate to the real world a lot more, I
True.
personally feel. So that makes it fun.
True.
But yeah.
Shihab, feel free to jump in anytime.
Yeah, bro.
Student.
Thousands as a legend, man. I'm still surprised he remembers me. Last 2011 এর পরে তো আর দেখা হয়নি মানে তার সাথে।
No, he still remembers you because when I went back to Dhaka, I did mention you, and he actually did remember you specifically, which is a surprise because Abbur kintu onek student kotha mone thake na because it's been a long time, onek bochor onek student. Amar ekta colleague, she was my dad's student, so she mentioned je onek age ek esechilo, and when I mentioned her to Abbu, Abbu was like, hey, hoyto chini, and I'm like, Abbu, seriously tomar student kotha mone nai? But then Shihab was different. Shihab got actually mone chilo, so that's nice.
Yeah,
so he must have been really obedient and good at maths.
Next time gele সাথে দেখা করতে হবে definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Come over.
I mean, also, if you think about it, mone thaka, it's almost impossible, right? You have what, 50 students in a class, right? And if he's been teaching for 20 years at least, that's 1,000 students to remember.
Yep, exactly. Makes it difficult. But, yeah. So I don't know, Shihab, and I think we mentioned this to you. Some of our senior teachers are not in school anymore. So school has also changed. Therefore, I think you heard about Yamin sir passing away. So that was a big shock for all of us because Yamin sir was one of my favorite teachers as well. So yeah, it just makes you realize that we've grown old. Right?
It's been a while, yeah, man. Like A-levels course almost 10 years, right? Almost 10 years, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
I think now, so today is one of my friends' birthday, right? So wish good to see you. So he's having a baby, right? And he was like,
that's another story.
He was like, man, like quite bochor age I was 20 and now I'm almost becoming a father, right? Like time flies, right? And we were just discussing je joto boro hoy amra, time seems to go by faster in a way.
It does. I think because we stay busier. That's why
exactly. Exactly, right? We get busy with so many things. And if you think about it, we didn't have Netflix, right? We didn't have online streaming in a way, right? So to get busy, you would do your homework, then go play cricket, go play football outside. But it's just non-stop Netflix, non-stop.
It's a non-stop cycle of activities, basically.
Exactly.
I think that's a good point because this lockdown thing helped because of that. So at least at a point you can stop yourself and reflect on things that I think we haven't done for a lot of years now. I mean, we've been too preoccupied with so many things. We never really sat back, relaxed, and thought about what we've been doing. But so this is a good time. We can take this opportunity to reflect a bit on everything, literally from the type of person we are to how we interact with people to what we do. So that's good. That's a good opportunity.
Exactly.
What do you guys feel about it?
I mean, you're absolutely right? Because I think we get busy with so many things that you never know what you're doing, whether it makes sense or not, or do you actually want to do what you're doing, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
আরেকটা জিনিস হলো like আমি personally এটা think করলাম যে let's say once inshallah this whole COVID thing is over and once the regular work starts again, would we miss working from home? Because now that whether we like it or not, we have gotten used to it, and then working from home has its privileges, right? Working from home definitely has its own privileges. ওই জিনিসটাকে ওটা আমি চিন্তা করি whether
definitely আমরা এখন যেরকম আমি মিস করতেছি অফিস যাওয়াটা, তখন আমি মিস করব বাসায় বসে রিল্যাক্স করে কাজ করে
exactly they're literally waking up 10 minutes before a meeting and then joining it and like
also
taking some power naps in between activities exactly
না আমার যেটা মনে হয় যে আমরা properly অফিসে যেতে অনেক টাইম আছে right even I don't think even if we go back to office we will do fully office right there will be like 2 days office only when you have to spend time
exactly
meeting people তারপর বাকিটা বাসা
even the government won't recommend ওরা বললো like unless it's absolutely necessary do not go to work just work from home at least একটা vaccine বের হওয়া পর্যন্ত like ওটাই that's the biggest challenge for mankind just find
when do you guys think we can go back to traveling again
that's I mean I know Europe is back to pretty much normal within so you can travel between the European Union right but আমাদের জন্য I think it's going to be tricky for a while at least
and Singapore is going to be a bit more strict as always like incoming and outgoing সবকিছুতে একটু বেশি strict থাকবে
so I think at least that's something you mentioned before as well, Jay. Even if you guys go out of Singapore now, coming back into the country might be a bit
even if we have a valid work permit, like my employer who's sponsoring me, he needs to get a approval from the Ministry of Manpower saying that this guy is again coming back.
Yeah. So that's a bit of a mess.
Yeah. One tricky জিনিসটা. Quick question, what sports team do you support? Footballer?
Real Madrid.
Achha. No, I thought for some reason I thought you were a Chelsea fan.
What? No. Why? Why would you think that?
I got an Arsenal fan though. Fight to one thing.
I never supported any team in the Premier League orukom bhabe, but if I had to pick one team that I really liked, that was Arsenal back in 2002, 3, 4, the Invincibles and all time. But I've always been a diehard Madrid fan.
Right.
Regardless of how horrible they played before, like Ronaldo came in, and how horrible they're playing after he left. But yes, I've always been a fan.
No wonder something FIFA to be Madrid now.
Like now it makes sense. Cool guys.
The FIFA match is very interesting, I thought.
Cool guys. হ্যাঁ FIFA matches গুলো man I want so
ফর্ম পড়ে গেছে আমার তো খেলা হয় না লাস্ট 2 মাস খেলা হয় তোমাদের সাথে লাস্ট খেলছি ব্রো
আমরা তো দেখেছি আমরা তো তোর সাথে খেলতে
মানে I don't get তোর খেলা হয় না কেন তোর বাসায় PS4 তোর কাছে কন্ট্রোলার তোর
FIFA ব্রো অনলাইনে ভাই লাইক সামনাসামনি মনে করে একটা গোল করব তারপরে score করার পর একটু প্যারা দিব যা স্কোর করতে একটু ব্যাড বল দিব that's the thrill right that's trash talking that's what I usually do right
actually true আমাদের খেলার চেয়ে বেশি trash talking হয় Abdallah gets all serious like on খেলতে হবে ঠিক মতন করে and then he does this
আমি যখন ফাইসালের সাথে টিম আপ করি আমি যেমনি ওকে ঝাড়ি মারতে থাকি
oh my god
ঠিক আছে ব্রো
আর আমরা অলরেডি টার্গেট থাকে যে লাইক মেক শিওর ওদের ভিতরে ঝগড়া চলতেছে আমরা ওকে ক্যাপিটালাইজ করব
না এন্ড ফাইসাল মাঝে মাঝে কি হঠাৎ করে অনেক ভালো খেলা শুরু করে দেয়
হঠাৎ করে আউট অফ নোহোয়্যার
ফ্লাকচুয়েশন ও পুরো ম্যাচে শট
I think ওর ফ্লাকচুয়েশনটা pisses me off the most খুব ভালো খেলতেছে তো আমি এক্সপেক্ট করতেছি মানে my expectations go above the roof পুরো and হঠাৎ করে এত বাজে একটা জিনিস করে ফেললাম কি করলি তুই
no man hopefully like
inshallah
lockdown to শেষ হওয়ার পর inshallah আবার খেলা হবে and it's
hopefully by the end of June bro hopefully by the end of June
it's not like you can go anywhere flights নাই কোনো
Bhai, see that's another problem I actually want to go back
all right guys thank you so much
okay bro Allah Hafiz
okay chilo chatta Allah
Hafiz take care stay safe
bye